As a mood reader, I love to read seasonally, so let's read some spring reads. Hello my friends, welcome to my channel. Welcome to this week's reading vlog. This week, or for the next like 10 to 14-ish days, we are going to be reading some spring reads together. These are going to be books that are set in the springtime and that just really give off those spring vibes. I'm going to be honest with you guys, as of right now, they're all like fluffy romances because those are the spring books I have, so let me grab them and let's go through them real quick. I just want to tell you guys that I thought I already recorded this entire intro, but I can't find the clip anywhere. So I'm halfway through the reading right now, but we're going to redo this. So the first book I have is Darling Daffodil's Farm by Brittany Nicole. This one is a super cute small town romance. It's set on a tulip farm and it follows our female main character who is just coming home to help out with the farm after her father passes away, and it follows our main male character who is a farmhand who has been working on the farm and staying in her room this entire time. So sparks start to fly and then things start to get a little bit spicy, and it looks like it's going to be a really, really cute read. Next up I have In the Weeds by B.K. Borson. This, funnily enough, is another small town romance set on a farm, but instead of a flower farm, this one is set on a Christmas tree farm, and it is the second in a series. So book number 1 was Lovelight Farms. It is the Lovelight series. So this one is the spring read in this little seasonal kind of, there's 4 books in this series and this is the spring version of it. It follows a social media influencer as well as the, again, farmhand on the Christmas tree farm. I believe it's like a kind of second chance, as in they've like had a couple like one night stands and now they're thrown back together. So that one looks really cute and I really love book number 1, so I'm super excited for this one. And then finally I have Heathen and Honeysuckle by Sarah A. Bailey. This one is actually book number 1 in a series. Oh, I should have mentioned, Darling Daffodil's Farm is book number 1 in the Pacific Shore series. This is book number 1 in the, I'm so sorry. Darling Daffodil's Farm is book number 1 in the Hope Harbor series. This is book number 1 in the Pacific Shore series. This one follows our 2 main characters. They had a romance summer when they were young, in their teens. This follows our 2 main characters. They first met when they were young as teenagers. She went to stay with her grandmother for one summer and they met and they fell in love. And one night she just disappeared and they haven't heard from each other since. Now it's many years later and she's about to marry a man that her father picked out for her, and a letter that she never meant to get sent gets sent to him, and he shows up and says, "Hey, run away with me." And that's all we know from the back of the book. So that one looks really fun and really cute too. And they're all going to be really fun, fluffy romances. I think they're going to be similar but different. So I'm excited to kind of compare them. I think they're all going to have some spice in them, but I'm not really sure. And yeah, I think they're going to be really fun. They are all set in spring. They all give off that like cozy, comfy, fluffy spring vibes. And I can't wait to read them. So let's get right into it and let's read some spring books. Checking in about my first spring read, Darling Daffodil Farm. So I've been reading this for 2 days so far. I'm really just trying to get back into reading after like a really rough reading slump month. So we were taking our time with our books this month, but I'm on page 63 and I am 9 chapters in and I'm liking it a lot so far. So it's definitely just like a fluffy rom-com little small town romance, which is exactly what I feel like is a spring read. Like you really just want that coziness, you want that small town vibes, and you just want it to be really, really sweet. So it's set on literally a flower farm. So they have tulips and daffodils, and we get viewpoints from both of our main characters. So the female main character and the male main character. So I think that's really fun. I love being able to see where both of their mindsets are at. I really enjoy doing stuff like that. So we have dual point of views, and it is a cozy small town set on a flower farm. So we definitely have the spring vibes going, and I'm getting into it. When I first started reading it, I wasn't really sure like if this is what I was vibing, but I was like, just read a little bit more. And now I think it's really cute and it's really fun, and I'm loving all the side characters, and I'm just loving it. And yeah, I'm really enjoying this so far. I think it's really fun. It has me like giggling a little bit. I feel like mostly like the townspeople are really what's got me going and like laughing and giggling, because they're just funny and they have so much personality, and I absolutely love that. Like a book that has good side characters is just, you know, because then the entire time you're just entertained. But yeah, the main couple, they've just met. They don't like each other at all right now. They're very suspicious of each other, and they both seem to have their own agendas which are counterproductive to each other. So that's where we're at. We're only 63 pages in, but we're gonna keep reading, and I'm hoping to get this read in like the next maybe like 3 days. Like I said, I'm not trying to pressure myself, but I do want to get things like read. So hopefully I can get a good chunk done tonight. Maybe I can get myself like 100 pages read. That would be fun. And then we're just gonna keep going with it. But I just wanted to check in, let you guys know that I am really enjoying this spring read so far. Great news! I officially finished my first spring book, Darling Daffodil's Farm, and it was really, really cute. It was really, really sweet. It was such a fun, fluffy, little bit spicy, well, decently spicy spring romance, and it literally was a perfect spring romance. It was set in the spring, and it was set on a literal flower farm, and it was just so cute. It was so sweet, and I really, really enjoyed it, like a lot. Even I was a little weary for the third act breakup, and even that like went really well in my opinion. Like I really enjoyed how it was written, and it wasn't anything like too annoying. It was kind of in a really smooth way that was like pretty mature. There was one little bit that kind of like, there was just like kind of like a swap in mindset, like, oh, I'm being ridiculous, my silliness, and then like, sorry, my battery had died. But there was one like mindset shift that kind of just like happened overnight. But sometimes like when you sleep on things, you do realize things, and then like problems kind of like resolved. But they talked it out and like had a big communication about it, which was actually really, really good. Instead of no communication, they actually did have communication, and they solved the issue, and it was perfect. I really, really enjoyed it. So I loved this book. It was really fun. Like I said, it was quite spicy. I'd say maybe 3 out of 2.5, 3 out of 5 peppers, I'd say, I guess. I don't know, like my spice scale I need to kind of figure out a little bit better, but I'd say maybe like 3 out of 5 peppers, 2.5 to 3 out of 5 peppers, guys, I guess, because it was spicy, but like it took a while to get there, and also like the spice was good, and like it was good, but also like it wasn't like ridiculous, you know? It was kind of like medium, you know? So that's the spiciness level. It was very cute, very sweet. I really liked the male main character. I really liked the townspeople, the side characters. I really liked all of them. So I really love this book. Rating wise, it's somewhere between a 3.5 and 4 stars. Probably 3.75. Honestly, I'm not positive, but that's where I'm leaning, is like 3.75 out of 5 stars. Really liked it. Really good. For me, 3 is like good, enjoyed. So anything above that means like I really enjoyed it. So I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really fun, and I really do think it's a perfect like spring read. Definitely, definitely, definitely. I just remembered I have some quotes for you guys. Completely forgot, but I have some quotes for you guys. So let me see what I wrote down. I have the first one, which I thought was really cute because it related to the book so much, and then it was a big theme throughout the book, but it was just, you can't keep a wildflower in one place. They sprout up where they choose. So that kind of like gives you a little synopsis of like what the book's gonna be like. And then another quote, this man, let me tell you, he goes, I know I should walk away, I know I can't have her, and yet that doesn't stop me from keeping my ear to the door until I hear her cry out my goddamn name. When I got to that part, I was like, okay, yep, the spice will be there. The spice, it will be there. And then I have 2 tabbies for you here. We have, here, okay, I was like, wait, what did I want to read to you guys? Okay, so it's, my lips crash into hers, and it isn't a fire that sets my body aflame. No, it's a tidal wave that pulls me out to sea. An out-of-control disaster that could consume us both and drag us under. I don't care, though. I could drown in this woman without even realizing it, because I'd rather keep my lips on hers than ever breathe again. Yep, okay, that's a man obsessed. That's a man obsessed, and I loved it. He was a man obsessed. I loved it. Ooh, and then she calls him a nickname, Cowboy, and he hates it, but then he goes, they're like in the house together, and she calls for him, Cowboy? And he goes, yep, she's still calling me that. And so he responds to her, yeah? And I'm answering to it. I'm so fucking screwed. I love it. This man was a man obsessed. Oof. So good. So good. So, exciting news. We are now on to my next spring book, and I want to read this one. I do, like, because this one is set on a farm as well. So, like, I just read one on a farm. It's a different farm. It's a Christmas tree farm. That one was a flower farm. So, it's a different type of farm, but, like, it is set on a farm. But this one, I feel like, is slightly more summery. Like, it starts... Oh, May 7th. Dude, May 7th is today. Okay, screw it. I'm starting with this one. And then it goes to June 2nd. So it, like, jumps back and forth between, like, May and June. So I feel like it's spring and summery. So, like, it could go both ways. But this one is definitely springy because it takes place in, like, March and April. But I don't care. This one, I think I want to do this one because it literally starts today. Like, I mean, it was today of... It doesn't even give you a year. So literally, it starts today. I'm sorry. Is that fate or is that fate? So we're going to be reading this one, or we're going to start this one, and then if we're not feeling it, we'll switch to this one. But we're going to go with this one next for our spring reads, and this one is Heathen and Honeysuckle by Sarah A. Bailey. It is a Pacific Shores novel, so it is part of a series. It is book number 1, so... Sorry, girl. It is book number 1, so I've not read anything by her or anything in the series. And let me just read you the back quickly so we all know what's happened, shall I? Kept promises, broken hearts. Then. Ooh, it's a then and now. That's going to be exciting. Theo Graham knows nothing ever happens in the small town of Pacific Shores. That is, until he runs into his new neighbor, golden-haired, honey-eyed, and sharp-tongued, Darby Andrews. The mischievous surfer is immediately smitten with the innocent girl next door and vows to dedicate his summer to bringing out her wild side. As Leo and Darby's budding friendship turns into a burning love that neither of them could have expected, Leo is determined to protect it at all costs, until he finds the girl of his teenage dreams ran away in the middle of the night without so much as a goodbye. It's going to be a second chance. I'm just dabbling into second chance romances, like just getting into them, and I'm finding I love them. I love them. Now, Darby Andrews is Cresswell, Kansas's golden child. She's always been a rule follower, save for one secret summer spent living with her grandmother in California, the consequences of which still haunt her a decade later. Darby's always done what she's been told, including agreeing to marry the man handpicked by her demanding father. So it's a marriage of convenience. Or she's literally getting told by her father to marry someone. Well, perfect on paper, Darby knows what love is, and her engagement to Jackson Montague isn't it. When the boy whose heart she broke all those years ago shows up on the... Let's try that again. When the boy whose heart she broke all those years ago shows up on the cusp of her nuptials, claiming to have received a letter she never meant to send him, and an offer to run away, Darby's left with a choice: remain the good girl she's always been, or become the wild spirit she's always wished to be. Interesting. So we're gonna start dabbling with this one and see how it goes. This is really cute so far. I am on page 160. I am just shy of halfway. It's definitely fluffy and like there's depth to it, but like the writing, the writing is fine. It's good. It's just there's a couple little parts where I'm just like, it's a little cringe maybe, but I am enjoying it and it's really cute and it's really fluffy and I'm curious to see where it leads. So my Kindle, I also have it on Kindle Unlimited. My Kindle claims I have like, see what it tells me. My reading time's always skewed because I just put my Kindle down. It says I have 4 hours and 13 minutes. Not my Kindle. Thank you for cases. Okay, she's safe. But it says I have 4 hours and 13 minutes left. So hopefully I'll finish it up in like tomorrow is the hope. Not today probably, but tomorrow, hopefully. And then we just have to read In the Weeds, which I'm getting kind of sick of spring romances, if I'm being honest. But I also want to get that one read in the spring. So like I feel like now's the best time to do it. So we're going to try to finish this one up tomorrow and then read In the Weeds in like maybe like 3 or 4 days. Like in the next 3 or 4 days after that. Let's hope. Okay, my friends, check-in time. So I finished Heathen and Honeysuckle. Very excited about that. And I will give you guys a big little review of it. A big little review of it later or tomorrow. But I just wanted to pop in here and let you guys know that I finished it and it was really enjoyable. But I also have mixed feelings about it, to be honest. It was enjoyable, but I have mixed feelings about it. So that is what it is. And then, as you guys saw, last night I started my next book. So let me grab it. I started In the Weeds by B.K. Borison. This, like I said, is book number 2 in the Love Light series, and it is the spring type book in the series. It is a grumpy farmer and a no-nonsense social media influencer have another chance at love in this charming romantic comedy. So that kind of explains exactly what to expect. It has just such a springy vibe, and I will be honest, I'm getting a little bit tired of fluffy spring romance books. 3 in a row is a bit much for me, but I do want to get this finished, and it's literally the 14th of May, so I feel like I need to get it done now, or I'm not going to read it until next spring, and I want to get it checked off my TBR, so we are going to continue reading a fluffy romance, even though I'm a little bit tired of them, and I'm just hoping that this one's going to move really fast. It's not that long. It's only 305 pages, so I feel like that shouldn't be too bad. I'm hoping to read it in like 2 to 3 days, so fingers crossed with that, but yeah, that is how I'm feeling. Let me read you the synopsis on the back so that we both know what I'm getting into, and then I will let you know. So, Evelyn St. James isn't the kind of woman you forget. Beckett Porter certainly hasn't. One incredible weekend in Maine, and he's officially a man distracted. He's not unfamiliar with hot and heavy flings, but Evie? Probably. Or Evie, but probably Effie. Or, because it's Evelyn, so you'd think it'd be Effie. Right? We're gonna say Effie. It could be Evie. Wove some sort of magic over him during their tumble in the sheets. He can't stop thinking about her laugh, her hand pressed flat against his chest, her smiling mouth at his neck. So when she suddenly appears on his farm as part of a social media contest, he is confused. He had no idea that the sweet and sexy woman he met at a bar is actually a global phenomenon. When Effie disappears again, Beckett resolves to finally move on. But Effie, who has been feeling disconnected from her work and increasingly dissatisfied with life online, is trying to find her way back to something real. She returns to the last place she was happy, Lovelight Farms, in the tiny town of Inglewood, and has absolutely nothing to do with the hot farmer she spent 2 unforgettable nights with. So I'm excited to get back in this world and like revisit characters and all that fun stuff. But like I said, a little bit sick of spicy, fluffy romances. I was very, very tired last night, so I really only read literally 6 pages, and it was just kind of like a epilogue, and it was about their first time meeting in Maine. So it was like a little synopsis of what their first time in Maine was like, and then I have another part of the epilogue, which is going to be, I think, a little synopsis of their time in book 1, because they like re-met in book 1, and then I think we're going to get into the actual storyline of them meeting now again, and it begins in March. So like I said, it's very much a spring book, so I need to get it read now, and then yeah, so that's the game plan. We're going to get this all read, and I started, like I said, 6 pages. It started with a tumble in the sheets, so it started spicy already, which didn't necessarily need that, but I understand we're trying to like set the stage, so I get that. I get it. So we're going to keep reading this later today. Okay, my friends, I promised you a review, and I am here to deliver. So, Heathen and Honeysuckle. I have mixed feelings on this book. I have very mixed feelings on this book, and there's a variety of reasons, but really I really struggle with, I know it's a work of fiction. Obviously it's a work of fiction. I just struggle with the storyline being believable. I kind of struggle with that a little bit. The romance felt a little bit unbelievable to me. There wasn't really enough depth to the first meeting for it to last for so long with them not seeing each other, but okay, I get that as the premise of the book, so looking past that was fine. But then what she did that made her think she deserved all of this and that like he should hate her and all this stuff, I really struggled with. I understand that a lot of the book centered around how she was manipulated by the people in her life, not the love interests, but like by her family and stuff, how she was manipulated by them and how they really kind of messed with her way of thinking and messed with her reality and really kind of pushed her to think certain things and believe certain things. And of course that led to her life being what it was. So I understand like the general concept of it and all of it. It's just some areas of the storyline I was just like, this is unbelievable. This is a little silly. This is a little bit meh. Like, really? You know? So because of all of that, I ended up rating it a 3 out of 5 stars. I gave it 3 out of 5 for peppers as well. That's another thing I had with it. So like I said, I had mixed feelings and I enjoyed the overall storyline. I liked the characters. They were well written, they were lovable, and the side characters were lovable as well. They had some good depth to them, and the romance itself, while a little unbelievable, was really sweet. And I like that the plotline had like a bit of a fun adventure inside of it. That all of it I really enjoyed. However, I feel like the book moved kind of slow. Like not that much really happened in the book, and I also feel like the spice level made no sense. Like I feel like the spice level made absolutely no sense at all. Like it just didn't make sense to me because it's just like basically it went from 0 to 100 very fast, and it didn't really seem to make sense to me at all. Like I feel like someone who does not necessarily have a lot of experience isn't necessarily going to be so willing to do so many things so quickly. I don't know. It just seemed a little bit unrealistic to me. I did enjoy the book. I did like the spring vibes. I think it definitely gave really good spring vibes. Like I said, the romance was sweet, and if you really love that second chance romance, like you're not going to think it's unrealistic. You're just going to think it's super sweet and amazing. I just personally thought it was a little unrealistic, but if you're a huge like second chance romance fan, I don't think that will be an issue for you. And I think that the issue towards the end of the book that was like, this is really what she's holding against herself, I feel like some people will feel more strongly towards that issue than I did. I just personally was like, girl, get your brain together and stop letting these other people control your mindset and your way of thinking. So I was a little frustrated with that, but I really did enjoy it. It really was very fun. It is book number 1 in the Pacific Shores series, and there are 3 more books, I believe. Do I plan on continuing this series? I think I do. I think I really do. I don't own any of the other 3 books, but the storyline of the side characters got me intrigued enough that I want to go and I want to read the other ones, because I think book number 2 follows her sister, the main character's sister, the female main character's sister, and I believe books number 3 and 4 follow some of the male main characters' friends. But I also think those are going to be very emotional, and perhaps a bit tragic. So I think they're going to be a really good series to continue. I do plan to continue it, but I don't own the other ones yet. So it'll be in the future when I can like pick those up and get to it. So I do plan on continuing it, but I'm just not there yet. So that is Heathen and Honeysuckle. I do have a couple of quotes I saved for you guys. I forgot. I should have told you that before. Let me see if I have. There's a couple really sweet moments, such as this quote that he was saying, which was like, there's this nagging part of me that's questioning whether the homesickness I've felt for years now has been for Boston or if it's actually been for her. So I thought that was really sweet. And then something else I thought was really sweet. So of course, like you guys know, this was a saving her from our wedding. Like, hey, don't marry him. So he was going, I'll never be able to admit to her how it felt to imagine her walking down that aisle, marrying a man we both know she'll never love the way she loved me. I thought that was really sweet, and I just really enjoyed that part. And then, okay, so there's a couple cute moments when they were younger, because it would flash back to when they were younger, and he was quite protective of her, and he was like, the guys here are going to give you a lot of attention you may not be comfortable with, so tonight, you're mine, Honeysuckle. I won't let anyone else touch you, I believe. Apparently, I didn't save that whole quote, but that one was really sweet. Oh, here we go. I got it. I won't let anyone come... So tonight, you're mine, Honeysuckle. I won't let anyone come enough... I can't even get it out now. I won't let anyone come near enough to touch you, not unless you ask me to. And I really liked that. And then, goes, stop looking at me like that, Honeysuckle. Like what, she asks. Like you're wondering what a piece of my soul feels like. So like I said, there's some really sweet, cute moments, but there was also some that were just like super cringe, and it just made me laugh. But there were some really good moments as well, and there were some that made me laugh, like, why are boys pissing you off today? She snorts. The audacity. The audacity to do what? Elena looks over at me, lowering her large black sunglasses so I can see her caramel-colored eyes. Just the audacity. The general audacity to fucking exist and believe they deserve to breathe the same air as me. And I love that. I fucking love that attitude. Another attitude I loved was, fuck being ladylike. Seriously though. Fuck it. Fuck what everyone tells you need to do. Fuck it. And then when the divine is trying to intervene, honeysuckle, I'm going to fucking listen. I liked that. Okay, so there was a honestly, there was a lot of really cute moments in it, which is why I ended up getting a 3-star for me, because it was really cute and really sweet. And I do recommend it for a spring romance. I had some mixed feelings. Now moving into In the Weeds by BK Borson, I failed you guys. I got halfway through this book. I did not finish it like I wanted to for this vlog, and I had some sad thing happen a few days ago, which means this past weekend I did not read as much as I wanted to, but I did get halfway through this book, and I am really enjoying it so far. I will say that when I started reading, so it is book number 2 in the Love Light series, and book number 1 is Love Light Farms, which is like the Christmas version of this book, and I read it this past winter, so I read it in like November, December. It was not that long ago, and yet I'm having such a hard time really remembering much about that story. Like, I remember the characters, I remember the setting, but I remember so little about like the love story, and it makes me feel terrible. And so I was having a little bit of a hard time getting into this book when I couldn't remember much about it, but the more I got into it, I remembered like the settings, and I remembered like the different characters and stuff, so I'm feeling much better about it, and I really like this couple. I think they're sweet. I think that his infatuation with her is a little bit strange, unfounded, considering they really don't know each other that well. Now they know each other a little bit better, but I feel like his obsession with her is a little bit much, but also that connection was there and he felt it, so, you know, power to him. But that is what I'm feeling, and I'm really enjoying it so far. It's really cute. I'm definitely liking it more than Heathen and Honeysuckle. And then Darling Daffodil's Farms, I like that one a lot too. That one has similar vibes but different, because that was a flower farm and this is a Christmas tree farm. So you're like, you got that farm setting, which is such a cute small town setting, and the townspeople are just so good in both of these books. Honestly, the townspeople are just so great in all these books, and I love when they have like phone trees and text chains and stuff for the whole town. I think it's so hilarious, and I think like the townspeople side characters can really make like a fluffy romance if you have those good side characters, and it just makes it so funny. And yeah, I'm really liking this. I'm really loving it. I am only halfway done though, so I can't give you a full rating. That will be coming later, but that is that for reading my spring reads. It took me a little bit longer than I thought it was going to, and unfortunately, because of life and grief, I've been unable to finish my 3rd spring read, but I will be finishing up for you guys, and I will be putting my review and my wrap up, so you'll see all of that coming soon. I want to thank you guys so much for being here. I would love to know any spring read suggestions you have down below, as well as what you're currently reading. Let me know. Hope you guys are having a fabulous spring, and summer's going to be so amazing. Live well, my friends. Read lots and lots of good books, and go discover. Bye! I'm really in the mood for summer now, so yeah, summer reads coming soon.